What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's up? I see y'all rolling up in here. I'm trying to catch some of the names. I see you, Adrian and John Gore and Shirley Nicholson and Latrice Jones. What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. What's up, everybody? I see you coming in here, Camille Jones. Good morning to you, Kenneth Stanley. Big K. What's up? Come on in the room, people. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. If you enjoyed what happened on yesterday, where I was giving you some detailed information about the Reduction Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, you may want to invite people to join us today because I'm gonna go into that a little bit more. A lot of the feedback was that you loved it, you didn't know about it, you're glad that somebody is sharing it. I realized that on timed news programs, they can only give you snippets of things. And here, since I have the rights to this, I'm able to give you more and break it down. And I believe our communities need more of this so that we have a true understanding of what's going on. I see you coming in here, Patricia Lyles. So go ahead and share it. Now, this is something that I found out. Isaiah and I were talking about this, I think it was last week, as well as Kenny Stanley, is that for some reason people don't get the alerts until later. And I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is here on Facebook. On YouTube, it seems as if all of you are coming in just fine. There go Fred Jones. We were having a good time this morning because he's, of course, where Isaiah is. We were going back and talking about how we say things today that we said we would never say when we were younger. But now that we have experienced the Lord, we go ahead and break it down. We're like, we now know what our grandparents were saying when they meant it's a good day to be alive. Trust me, it's a good day. I see you, Shardinia. But we realize that people are not getting the alerts as quickly as 725. So the only thing I can say to all of you is to set your smartphones to give you an alert from that direction, or to come over to the YouTube, which is youtube.com/Gail Dudley, and watch it from there. It's really hard. So pray for us because we're trying to decide how do we continue this on this platform where we can engage in a conversation. But people are saying they're missing half of it and they're missing the community to come on here with us all at the same time. So I don't know what that is. When I was when the young people did their young people takeover, I was looking for my own show and could not find it. Okay. So I thought that was very interesting as someone coming in from the backside. I did not come through the recording side. I came through the backside, and I had to keep scrolling Facebook to find News in Motion. I thought that was a very odd thing. So if I could not find it, I can only imagine what some of you are dealing with. And I just want to apologize for that. I see you, Danielle. I see you, Regina. Good morning to all of you. All right, y'all. Season 5 continues. It is Thursday, September the 15th, 2022. And it is time for the news headlines and to also break down this Inflation Reduction Act. I started on it yesterday. I'm going to give you more information today because you asked for it. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Y'all, we are over 2 years old. I'm so excited that you have made the decision to continue to hang out with me. Y'all, it's like a family. It's like a classroom. And I enjoy this. I just want to say thank you to all of our audio listeners. Thank you as well. You are troopers. You are troopers. Some of you write in later and say things like you're driving, you're laughing, you're wanting me to give more of the comments that are in the chat. And I'm trying to balance the time with everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you to the classrooms. I hear the classrooms are back. I didn't realize some of you were on yesterday. And what happens is a classroom is showing one person because they're tapping in and we're not seeing the students that are in the classroom. So I'm glad that you're back. You're here today. You want to hear me finish this Inflation Reduction Act. I see you, Kim Edmondson. I see you, Lori Wallace. Happy Thursday to you too. If you're wondering about this sweatshirt, this is my Ohio State sweatshirt. I'm sporting Ohio today. Nikki Burton did this sweatshirt. So yep, this is Ohio. This is one of her sweatshirts. You know, it went with my color popping, the red. So I just thought I would go ahead and put on the sweatshirt today as well. So this is her sweatshirt. Again, it's Ohio, OHIO. She's an amazing artist. Nikki Burton sometimes is on here in the morning, depending upon her schedule. So if you're looking for a sweatshirt, go ahead and contact her. The other thing I want to say, I want to know, Kenny Stanley came in and talked about the lineup for this weekend with college sports. Put in the chat what college you are rooting for on this weekend. For me, I am OHIO. That's who has my support this weekend. So please fill the chat with who are you supporting this weekend in college football. The other thing, before I get into the news, the other thing, I'm getting ready to start something. I know I'm getting ready to start it, Latrice Jones. I'm getting ready to start it, girl. I'm getting ready to start it. Y'all, please, please, please support 2 Black films this weekend. The first one is Little Mermaid. Hello, somebody. I love the reactions of the little Black and brown girls who are seeing someone who looks like them. I plan on watching it this weekend just because I want to see what all the hype is about. But I just want to be able to relate to the visuals of what I'm hearing from these little Black girls. Let me see. Good morning, Diane Ladybug. What's up? Kim Edmondson. Here she go, talking about go blue. I'm saying OHIO. So Kim Edmondson is saying go blue. Fred Jones is saying Iowa Hawkeyes and Pittsburgh Steelers. I said college. And I saw your comment yesterday about you bringing me on over to the Steelers side. Tracy Burrs, what's up? She says she is supporting the Ohio State Buckeyes. Marion Jackson saying roll tide. Lori Wallace says I am an alumni of University of Toledo, but Buckeye fan. I'm rocking my UT sweats and Buckeye shirt. All right. Kim's talking about boo bucks. I'm not talking to you, girl. John Gore says Bowling Green. It is our 100th homecoming weekend celebration. Looking forward to seeing my friends. And I'm sure, and I'm not going to say how old John Gore is, but trust me, y'all, he's an alpha man. And I'm sure he's going to be stepping somewhere in the arena with the alphas. I know he is. Fred said, my fault. Dr. Antoinette, what's up, girl? Marion Jackson says she's going to see The Woman King tomorrow. I was going to that movie next. Thank you, Marion. Y'all, I'm going to actually, I believe it's the Deltas who are sponsoring at Gateway Theater tonight. And a friend of mine got me a ticket. I'm going to see The Woman King tonight as a premiere. I'm really, really excited about that. That's the other movie I want us to support. So 2 movies, The Little Mermaid and The Woman King. Let's really support them this weekend. Diane Ladybug said, yes, go blue. Sit down somewhere, girl. Fran says she missed the full disclaimer. What's up, Davia? She says Oklahoma Sooners. All right. Now that's a new one, but if I believe that's where you went to school, right? Tell me about that. Kenny Stanley said Buckeyes. Latrice Jones says, have y'all shared this post? Yeah, ask the question, girl. Raise the question. Adrian says the Buckeyes and always a loyal Pitt Panthers fan. Dr. Antoinette said Hampton. All right. What they say? HU? Patricia says Buckeyes. John Gore said, oh, you already know. I told y'all he's going to be stepping. He's going to be stepping. Yes, this sweatshirt is from Nikki Burton. It's the OHIO. Shirley Nicholson says Buckeyes by choice, tied by association. Son played for Alabama. Okay. Mary Jenkins, what's up? The Woman King. So yes, please support those 2 movies, Little Mermaid and The Woman King. And again, this sweatshirt, Nikki Burton, it's the Ohio sweatshirt. I thought I would pop it on since I'm doing pops of colors, So thank y'all for participating. So here's my other question. Yep, Oklahoma undergrad, still very involved with the university. Okay, and then Ashland is master's, right? I want to make sure. Y'all, I love all of y'all, but I love me some Davey. I just want to tell y'all that. Dr. Antoinette said, yes, both The Woman King and The Little Mermaid. And yes, shared. Thank you. Y'all, now, on the serious note, we were talking about the schools, and I'm getting ready to get into the news, but this is news as well. There's so much hate that we're wrestling with in the world. And the reason why I'm asking you to support those 2 movies, The Little Mermaid and The Woman King, is because there's so much hate. And y'all, they're trying to suppress those numbers. So if we go, even if you don't go, buy a ticket. It is worth it for, it is worth it to raise the awareness and to, that's algorithm as well, and to bring about the algorithm of how many people are tuning in. So y'all, if you even look at some of the comments, and I beg of you not to look at the comments on some of these social media threads, because your blood will boil. But I really want you to support them. People don't understand what it feels like to see somebody who looks like us, and it is year 2022. And we're just now beginning to see some of this. What's up, Elizabeth Towns? So seriously, y'all, we have to support. We have to support. If there's one dream, I'm going to talk about dreams in for the inspirational message. If there's one dream that I have, that dream is that we would truly support each other. And it's not always exchanging money. It's the shares. It's the talk about it. When I'm in rooms, and this is the truth. I was at the Women in Government luncheon at the Athletic Club in Columbus, Ohio, where we really aren't supposed to be. And I was I was actually one, except for the speaker that looks like me. And I went to support that speaker. I'm a part of the organization. And I went to support that speaker who was talking about philanthropy, because I knew that she would be the only one in the room. So I went, of course, Athletic Club in Columbus, Ohio. I don't even know. I can say you're not welcome, but they look at you still. So the man opened the door. He says, "Are you supposed to be here?" And I said, "Yes, women in government." And he said, "Oh," he says, "up the steps to the right or go to the elevator." Okay, so I went in the room, and people, because I'm part of the organization, people know me, and they were like, "Hey, what's up?" I had my lunch, my name tag, all that stuff. But I sat in that room and I asked this question. I said, number one, why am I the only one sitting here as a participant that looks like me? Is it because we don't know that these organizations exist? Is it that we do not understand what's happening? Is it that I even pointed at myself, did I not share this information with my friends, with the people that I'm in circles with, to encourage them to come? Is it because it's in the middle of the day and it's the middle of the workday, although it's a brown bag lunch type of thing? What is that? And why can't we support? So since after I attended, I was just sharing this, trying to get more women to be a part of Women in Government here in Columbus. It's Ohio Women in Government here in Columbus, Ohio. And it's an organization that Congresswoman Joyce Beatty is a part of, and I believe she's one of the founding members. But it is nonpartisan. Now, it does lean a little bit to the left, but it is nonpartisan. So I want us to support. But I sat there during that luncheon thinking, even beyond COVID, why is it that we don't support? What is it, and what do we need to do? So even in that room, I had on some jewelry, Latrice and Adrian, and someone said, "Oh, that's some great piece of jewelry." Well, I realized that maybe they don't know about paparazzi. So I started talking about it. I started delivering names, and I look in my purse, and I actually had a card of Latrice Jones. Bam, here you go. Enjoy it. Contact her, get you some pieces, $5. Yes, it is. And they like a bargain. Let me tell you, they like a bargain. They were like, "That was $5. Yes, it was $5. Go ahead and get you a piece." We were talking about podcasts. Boom, her name is Davia. Check this out. Here, I went to my phone, connected the YouTube, and said, "Here, join her YouTube," to several women, because we were sitting in rounds of 8, and then we moved to other rounds of 8 until the speaker comes. Someone else was talking about financial literacy. Boom, here's Kim Edmondson. Check her out. Here's her information. And now you can just send a group text or whatever and get that out there. People were talking about, "Do you have any speakers?" "Yeah, let me give you about 4 names that I have. Here's Dr. Kim Carter." I went down the list. Here's Deborah Johnson. I was just going down the list. Y'all, in the room, you should have what I call a kit of names that when somebody asks for something, that you're not sitting at that table being quiet. You're immediately passing that name on to somebody else. Hello, somebody. We have to do this, y'all. We have to do this. Yeah, yeah. We have to do this. I was trying to see what else was on here. So yeah, how to support each other. Just be ready to support. Be ready. And yeah, good morning, Hester. Good to see you. Just have that kit of names. And just go through and even categorize them. I have all those names I just listed and others. I talked about men too. I talked about John Gore. I talked about Pastor Alex. Somebody was moving to Florida, so I got a name for you. Here's he and his wife are there. Connect with them. If you want me to do an introduction, I'll do that. Y'all, you have to do that. But in my contacts, I have network. And I put the names and what they do. So if somebody asks, boom, I'm passing it. I'm sharing that contact. Y'all, that's what we have to do. We really have to do that. I didn't mean to go rambling on that, but that's what we need to do. Latrice Jones said digital cards are good for networking and being able to support in this way. Absolutely. We have to do that. I'm begging us to do that. All right, to the news. Last night, the railroad unions were striking. This morning, the New York Times reports that per President Joe Biden, he's like, all right, the railroad. What are you talking about? We ain't about to strike. He said the railroad companies and unions representing tens of thousands of workers have tentatively reached a deal to avoid a strike. So that's good news. I want y'all to know the U.S. railroad workers may begin a strike tomorrow. However, if the railroad carriers and a group of 12 labor unions fail to reach the complete agreement of a new contract, it will be the nation's first strike in 3 decades. And it is predicted to cost the economy $2 billion per day. Not during the strike, but $2 billion per day. So that's out there. The other thing we know what's happening with Queen Elizabeth coffin. I watched some of this yesterday, and I have to be honest with y'all, and I'm getting to the law in a minute. I have to be honest with you. I was watching that yesterday saying, what is it that people are in line 4 miles long to go and curtsy or bow their head before a coffin? I really want to know. I really want to know. Seriously, no disrespect. I really want to know. I want to know the answer to that question. And if y'all have an answer, please tell me. And then I also was watching it asking this question. If Jesus was to roll up today, and we learn that he's in such and such a place, would we be buying tickets to fly there, gassing up our cars or charging up our cars to get there? Would we stand in a line 10, 20, 30 miles long to just see him to say, thank you, Jesus? I asked myself that question watching this. I'm like, what is happening? We had an event for when the casket came from the palace. We had an event when the casket arrived at Buckingham. There was an event when they were driving around the streets. There was an event when the airplane took off and landed into London. There was another event when they took the coffin off of the plane and took it to the palace. It's like, how many events do we have? Like, what is this? But the lines were long. I was like, I'm trying to understand this. Yeah, Robert Holman, great question. These are the questions I was asking myself watching all of this. All right, y'all. So let's get back to she is their idol. Yeah, I guess. Now, I want to say something. This is going totally against what I've said in the past. And yeah, I got my notes all ready for y'all today. I love me some Meghan Markle. Let me just say that. Now, there is protocol in the UK, in the royal family. There's protocol when we go to church. There's protocol in our families. It's protocol when you go to people's houses or you go to dinners. There's protocols. Now, she did good by standing there. Now, by the way, I was like, they standing for a long time to get through 3 prayers, 3 songs, the changing of the guards, the rolling up of the flags. That's a long time to be standing. I mean, standing straight. Now, we got to watch King Charles III. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but NBC News, if you were watching it live, he was starting to lean back. I said somebody had to pick him up because he was headed to the ground. And all of a sudden, they took the camera off of him. I said, he's swaying way too much, but they have to stand in attention. And the women had on their heels. Queen Consort had on her heels, and Kate, Princess Kate, and Duchess of Sussex. And I was like, that's a long time standing like that. Now, they curtsy as they're walking out, and there's still information. And I watched Megan do this. Now, ain't nobody touching nobody, ain't nobody holding nobody's hands. I get that you love your man. I think you should. But she reached out to touch Prince Harry's hand, and he did grab her hand, and they walked on out. And people made comments about that, like they calling it PDA. That wasn't the time to do that. I have to say, I agree with them. I watched that thing and I said, ooh, that wasn't necessary. So that's my piece on that. That's my piece on that. Y'all watch that? I did for news, Mike Nicholson. I did. All right, y'all, the law. It is law. And it is the Inflation Reduction Act. Now they're calling it the IRA. Just a quick recap. Yesterday I said that's not a good wording. This is where the Democrats get in trouble with messaging, because people are, when they're hearing IRA, they're thinking finances. They're not thinking of reduction law. They're not thinking that. The other thing, there's a big confusion around. They're using AA and NHPI. AA, people automatically go to African Americans. But here they're talking about Asian Americans. Democrats have a messaging problem that they need to clear up, So I wanted to put that out there. All right, to give another recap, just so that you know, this is the most aggressive action that has been taken to confront climate change crisis. It lowers the deficit. And there's proof that it will lower it. And it asks the super wealthy and corporations to pay their fair share. It's about time for that. And no one making under $400,000 per year will pay a penny more in taxes. As I shared yesterday, we need to bring that number down to something else. We need to bring that number down to no one making less than $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. They need to break that down, because when people hear that number, 400,000, they're like, oh, that doesn't include me. Well, they need to change that messaging. I'm telling y'all, they need to hire me so I can look at these things and say, you need to fix this, you need to fix that. Because you've got to be able to speak to the people, especially with the election that's soon before us. Okay, so number one, it lowers healthcare costs. All right, I told you yesterday that including prescription drug costs and expand health insurance coverage. Now, Americans pay 2 to 3 times more for their prescription drugs than people in wealthier countries. I talked about that yesterday, where AOC called out one of the drug representatives and said, this same medication in US dollars costs $8 in that country, and $1,000 here. He corrected her and told her it was like, I think it was $878 or something like that. Don't quote me on that. And she said, yeah, $1,000, when she just rounded it up to that number. That is true. So this law that has now been signed by President will deal with that. Also, nearly 1 in 4 Americans struggle to afford prescription drugs, and higher prices contribute to racial and ethnic health inequalities. The Inflation Reduction Act will help close the gap of that. Now, this law, I want y'all to hear this, caps the amount that seniors will have to pay for prescription drugs they buy at the pharmacy at $2,000 a year, which means that caps, once they pay $2,000 a year, that's it. I was looking at some of my mom's prescription drugs, and I was just like totaling these up in my head, because normally I go pick them up. Totaling them up in my head, and I'm like, wow. That is going to save a lot of money. But at the same time, what about a person who cannot even afford the $2,000? These are more questions that we need to be asking when we get to these town hall meetings to get a better understanding. Like, this is great, but what happens to this group of people? What happens to this sector of people? What happens in this community? This sounds great for the everyday working family, but we cannot neglect those who are in poverty. We cannot neglect that group. These are questions we need to be asking. Also, it caps the amount seniors will have to pay for insulin at $35 for a month's supply. That's great. Now we're hearing about seniors, but what about other people? What about, again, the marginalized, those who are considered under the poverty level? What about that sector of people? Great law, but now what are we going to do with it? And I'm raising this question because this is what needs to be asked as we're going into the November the 8th elections. Because as I shared with you yesterday from Senator Lindsey Graham, he's waiting for things to shift so they can vote things down and out and change and whatnot. Now, y'all know me by now. I always tell y'all to research every candidate. I say very seldom do I do down ballot. November the 8th is the most important midterm election of my lifetime. Midterm election of my lifetime. Normally we can just go ahead and forget about it. We cannot forget about this one. No. And I'm going to tell you something. I won't tell you which way I'm going, but this is a time that I am down balloting. Yep, I sure am. I'm going straight down ballot because I see what's on the line because I've been asking the questions. Now, am I completely agreeable with the party that I'm going to vote down ballot? No. But one outweighs the other, and I'm going that direction. I am. Again, I will never tell you who to vote for, but I want you to be armed with the information so that you can vote accordingly based upon what you see, not just for yourself, but for the future. Here's something else I want to just pause for a moment and share, if y'all will allow me to share this. And that is, we have to stop listening to the sound bites. We have to stop voting based upon personality. And we have to stop just looking and say, okay, this is what I see. What's behind that wall of what you see? What's behind that? Vote that way because there are unanswered questions that we need to be focused on. All right, y'all, we've lowered the healthcare costs and prescription drugs. It provides access to a number of additional free vaccines, including the shingles vaccines for Medicare beneficiaries. That's huge. That is huge, people. The shingles vaccine is expensive. Hello, somebody. John Gore, you on here? I think you know about that because we were talking about it. That's expensive. So we have to be mindful of these prices. Listen, we're rolling into COVID being a once-a-year booster. I read that to y'all from the White House. I think that was last week. Because we're rolling into that, they ain't going to keep paying for it. No. So who's going to pay for that to make sure it does not go out of whack again? We got to think about that, people. We got to think about that. Now, I told y'all yesterday almost 1.5 million AA and NHPI people were uninsured in 2019 before President Biden took office. Now, here's the number I want y'all to really hear. Over 1.3 million people of color, that's the majority of the viewers of News in Motion, fell into Medicaid coverage gap and were locked out of coverage because their state refused to expand Medicaid. All right, so I went digging. Y'all know I go digging in a minute. So who are these 12? Because there's 12 of them. Who are the 12 states? I'm about to tell you. I'm glad you asked. Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Yeah. They were like, not my problem. But who do you think's on Medicaid? Let's start with that question. See, y'all, voting, and I'm not saying we grew up just thinking, I'm going to just go vote. Voting is deeper than that. It is connecting the dots. And that's why we're here at News in Motion. It is to connect these dots. Y'all, these 12 states refuse to expand Medicaid. While I'm on there, put a pin on it. Let me go to the other letter that governors, blue state governors, sent to Joe Biden. And I'm embarrassed to say my governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, was on there as well. That says we do not like the fact that you want to give up to $20,000 for student loan debt. And then they reference the elite. Well, who's the elite? You? Like, really? Let's go back to the PPP loan forgiveness of millions of dollars that some of your lawmakers in the House and in the Senate received, and their loans were forgiven in the millions. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, please. So, y'all, these 12 states refused to expand Medicaid. And the question is, who did this affect? Us. Again, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Those are the states, y'all. Those are the states. And it was considered the coverage gap, uninsured. In the headline in the government, this is on government. Y'all can go to gov.com and find all this stuff. Uninsured poor adults in states that do not expand Medicaid. Y'all, I looked at some of these numbers. 41%. Us. People look like me. So you cannot stop but think. And I'm sorry, I'm going to connect this dot. So how many of the individuals who died from COVID could not even go because of these 12 states who had this gap? They couldn't go. They could not afford the ER. They could not afford to be admitted into the hospital during a pandemic. These are the questions we must ask. These are the questions. I'm still not going to get through all this, y'all, but I'm going to keep going. Combat climate change and lower energy costs. All right, y'all, the legislation will bring down energy costs for families and create thousands of jobs while reducing climate pollution and ensuring that we have a clean, secure future energy supply. It will make home efficiency upgrades more affordable. Let me say this, and I'm using Ohio, I'm using Columbus, but think about your state as well. Here in Columbus, Ohio, Franklin County, there's an organization called Impact. They have a lot of money, but there are people who are too prideful to go and get the money. Y'all, listen, these programs are out there to help us. Let me tell y'all something. I think I shared this with y'all before on News and Motion. I was at a doctor's office one day, and somebody, a known person, I knew they could afford their prescription. I knew it. I know they got probably free insurance, okay? And they were asking for samples of the medicine they needed because they didn't want to go buy the prescription. And they gave it to them. I was like, we can do that? I didn't know we could do that. We can do that. So I tried it. I said, hey, do you have any samples of that? And the girl said, oh, yeah, we do. And so she gave me what I needed. I said, that's all I got to do. She leaned over and said, we only do it for certain people. What? She said, normally, and she goes, and normally only certain people know to ask. Listen, y'all better start asking for those samples at the doctor's office. Y'all see the pharmaceutical salespeople bringing in samples normally while you're sitting in the waiting room. Ask if they have them, so you don't have to make a trip to the pharmacy and you don't have to pay for it. So listen. People are wealthy because they use the system to their advantage. We need to learn to start using the system to our advantage. Yes, I said it. Yes. Yeah, the system's not broken. No, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. We need to tap into the system and make sure it's working for our good too. We need to access the system, which means we need to pay attention. We need to watch. We need to listen. Sometimes we need to stay silent and see what's happening. Y'all survey the land. Y'all survey the land and say, oh, you did that? I'm about to try this too. I ain't asked no questions except, okay, do y'all have a sample of that? She goes, oh, yeah. Can I get enough to fulfill this? Oh, sure, I can do that for you. Okay, I don't know if it saved me $3, $7, $25, $100. I don't know. I had what I needed. Hello, somebody. Work the system. So it combats climate change. Right now, there's money out here all over the U.S. You got to find the program. So do your research for air conditioners. Yep. Replace air conditioners, water heaters, or furnaces. They can save up to 30% on your taxes and get a tax credit. That's happening. Households can save up to 30% in tax credit for home construction projects. That's happening. Your young people moving back home. You need a new bathroom. You need another toilet. Do that. Get the tax credit. It's out here. See, we don't tap into these things because we don't know that they're happening. Hester's saying, while you're asking, ask for that senior discount too. Hello, somebody. Do y'all go to Walgreens on Tuesday? You over 50? Hello, you better get them discounts while you're out there. Shirley said, got eye drop samples from my eye doctor and found out when I wanted to try to order to get a prescription for it was $600 for a teeny tiny bottle. Go back to your eye doctor and get another prescription. Yeah, it also, if lower moderate income families need to replace or upgrade stoves or other home appliances, they can receive direct rebate. See, y'all, we need to know where this stuff is. Let me see. I got time. Y'all got time. Y'all got time. It's Thursday morning. Give me a few more moments. I'm going to get through this today. Families in affordable housing units will benefit from resources to support projects that boost efficiency, improve indoor air quality, make clean energy. Y'all, this is a law. This is no longer a conversation. This is a law. And see, we need to be bold enough to say to somebody, when they say, oh, I can't do that. Well, the law says that you can. And pull it out and show them and say, you want to talk to your supervisor about this? We can call. I wait. Call them. I can wait. Because this is a law and you have to serve this. You have to honor this because this is a law. See, we went out. We're like, oh, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to do anything. They may do something. No, y'all, use the law, work the system. All right, create economic opportunities for jobs. Oh, let me back up. Let me back up to combat climate change. Overall, families will take advantage of clean energy and clean vehicle tax credit that can save more than $1,000 per year. Y'all, these dollars add up. $1,000 per year. Okay, create economic opportunities for jobs. There's a list of jobs, and y'all, it says while prioritizing over 50% of its investment in disadvantaged communities. What does that mean? Y'all, and I have a question at the end, which I'm gonna ask now because some of y'all have to go. Y'all, this is the law. This is the outline of what's in this act. Y'all, now we must ask, how can I access these benefits? So listen, some of you entrepreneurs out here, maybe I should do this too. We should do workshops free to the community, but write grants to get the money. Hello, somebody. Work the system, people. Work the system. Find out where the grant money is. Cherie, are you on here from Baltimore? Find out where the grant money is. Work the system and offer the training. Hello, you're training, you're educating your constituents, and you're getting that money. That's your job. That's your business. That's your entrepreneurship. There you go, y'all. Y'all got to connect these dots. All right, y'all. Environmental justice communities by providing a 20% bonus credit for solar projects. Who's doing solar projects? Who's doing that? Where are all my trade people? Where are the trade people that decided they weren't going to go to a 4-year college, but they were going to do a trade? We need you. We need you. You made the right decision. You can get some of this money. Yes, you can. You got a solar project? Do that. Get the money from the government. We need somebody. I need to find somebody. If y'all know somebody, let me know. We need to have somebody who can help us with government contracting. We can do a workshop on that, y'all. That's what News in Motion is here all about. We can take a Wednesday, forget the headline news, have a 30-minute government contract segment so we can get out here and do this. All right, y'all. Project Protect Health, Public Health. I know. We're over. It's all right. It's Thursday, y'all. It's my Friday. Protect Public Health. The Inflation Reduction Act recognizes the climate change disproportionately impacts low-income communities and communities of color. Y'all, this law is for us. Hello, somebody. The law create environmental justice block grants. Hello. It's creating block grants, which means there's money out there that if we have a business and pause for station identification. Make sure your business is registered with your Secretary of State's office. Hello. Make sure it's registered. Make sure you have a bank account. Make sure you have a financial person, a CPA. Make sure you have an attorney. Make sure if you're a nonprofit, you have a board. Y'all, there's money out here. And if you have everything set up correctly, you can get these funds. See, we need education on that too. Yes, we do. But now understand, sometimes we need to invest in some of these things so that we can bring these things to you. Connecting the dots, networking, supporting the people who are out here. All right, y'all. Funds a range of programs to reduce air pollution, including the fence line monitoring, the screening near industrial facilities, air quality sensors in disadvantaged communities, new and upgrade multi-pollutant monitoring sites, and monitoring and mitigating wood heater emissions. Come on, y'all. This is really going to help certain communities. We need to understand how to access this, and we need to teach this. We got to keep going. We got to keep going. All right, y'all. It also protects our children and young adults with investment to monitor and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Again, the question should be, how do I access this? Y'all, I'm giving you the information. Now you got to go research how. And we'll do that too. But let's work together on this. Okay, it also will strengthen resilience to climate change. It talks about, again, affordable housing, urban and community programs, tree planting. Y'all, you have a greenhouse, you have a farm of some sort. Y'all, here's an opportunity to get some of this money. It's time for us. Y'all, have you ever thought, well, we don't have any of this money? Have you ever thought about that? I read through this, and I'm going quickly. There's 8 pages here. I've read through this, and I'm not done yet. I read through this, and when I was reading it, and I was Googling, I was researching, I was connecting everything. I was seeing what was on the government website. I was seeing what was out there. I was seeing about the block grants. I was seeing about other proposals. Y'all, there's a lot of money out here. Billions of dollars out here. And I said, why can't we access these things? It's because we don't know. We hear about it. But how many people actually break it down so you can see, oh, I can be a part of this? We got to look at this. All right, y'all, lower costs for small businesses. Yeah, according to Small Business Administration, 2 million own small businesses in the U.S. government, more than $700 billion in revenue, and will create 3.6 million jobs. Small businesses, $700 billion is available out here for us. It is. And I said for us, 3.6 million, it can create 3.6 million jobs. Don't you want to be a part of that number? Small businesses can receive a tax credit and covers up to 30% of costs of switching over to low-cost solar powering, lowering operating costs and protecting the amount of energy price. And then also businesses can deduct, don't miss this, $1 per square foot of commercial building for making qualifying high energy efficient upgrades. And guess what? You're probably saying, we got to pay for the upgrades. I just read for you how you can get the upgrades. See, y'all, all of these things are connected. We just have to access the money. We have to access the money. And then also make the tax code fair. So you know that they're now taxing the wealthy, anyone making over 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. It stops at 400,000. So anybody making 400,000 or less, you're not going to get taxed. All right, y'all, that was a quick review and some additional information. Y'all, we have a lot of work to do. And I hope that we pay attention to this. As I continue to get information, I will continue to share it. Y'all, we need to know who out here is trying to start businesses that are part of the News in Motion viewers so that we can help you and accommodate things that you may need. Answer some of these questions. And here, right now, I will say this is why from time to time we ask you to support News in Motion. We are a grassroots media outlet. We engage on what we call a local level, which means one-on-one, all throughout the United States. We bring you relevant commentary with the call to action mixed with the inspirational message. If this information between yesterday and today has helped you in any way to open your eyes or to see, okay, I need to vote differently, Isaiah, please put up the iwillvote.com or iwillvote.us. If you are not a registered voter, we are asking you to register to vote today. because this needs to continue, which means we need your voice at the polls on November the 8th. Also, if you are a registered voter, that same link that Isaiah has up, iwillvote.com, check your voting registration. Do not wait until you get to the polls on November the 8th, or even if you're early voting. Check your voting information. Make sure everything is correct so that they will not pass off to you a provisional ballot or turn you away. If you run into any type of election challenges, I believe Isaiah has some phone numbers up here. We'll get those up. Election protection 1-866-R-VOTE. Please key these in your smartphone. If you run into anything at the polling locations, whether it's early voting, if you go in person to early vote, or on November the 8th, have this number. The other number that we want to share with you, Voting Rights Hotline, 800-253-3931. We need this information. Have this information on hand. If you run into somebody who's been turned away, give them this information, because they may not be a viewer of News in Motion or other organizations or entities that is sharing this type of information. In addition to that, because we are grassroots, from time to time, we will ask, and today is one of those days. If you want to say, you know what, let me throw News in Motion $2, $3, $25, $50, whatever. Let me throw some money their way so they can continue to do this research that they're bringing us on a regular basis. You can do it to the Cash App if you don't care about going through Cash App, which is MIM Today. Cash App $MIM Today. If you want to know how you can send a check, we do have a fiduciary agent, Making a Difference LLC, out of Columbus, Ohio. Al Edmondson is the fiduciary agent. You can send me an email saying, hey, send me the address. The email address, I believe Isaiah has that, is newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. Again, newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. Just send me an email and say, hey, Gail, send me the address. I want to send you a check. Thank you for the work that you're doing so we can continue this. Y'all, our inspirational message for today is called Dream. I want us to dream. I want us to dream. I thought about the Emmy Awards with Cheryl Lee Ralph, with Abbott Elementary. She won for supporting actress. Her speech still brings tears to my eyes. She says, don't stop dreaming. Don't stop believing. Y'all, I have dreams. And I shared a dream the other day with a friend of mine. I said, I just got to share this dream with you. And I shared it. And she said it spoke to her that I shared the dream. And I said, I just had to get it out. I had to share it with somebody. And you can't share your dreams with everybody, but share your dream with somebody that helps you, that helps put it out there in the atmosphere, and it helps hold you accountable. It keeps you focused on what it is you see and what it is you want to do. So don't stop dreaming. Don't stop dreaming. You can go through the Bible and grab hold of these different scriptures. Y'all know that our inspirational messages are based upon a Christian perspective. And there's those of you who stay on because you say you still get something from it. No disrespect, but it does come from a Christian perspective. So when you hear me use scriptures, that's why. So y'all, different scriptures in the Bible, I just see these things. And I think about Esther, for example. Esther was like, you know what? I'm getting ready to make a bold statement. I'm getting ready to go in here and ask a question. I'm getting ready to set this thing up, because she had a dream. She had a dream of seeing her people, her Jewish people, be free, not be threatened, not be tormented, not be harassed. And her what we call Uncle Mordecai was sharing with some things, and she fasted and she prayed and they gathered. She had a dream, y'all. She had a dream. What's your dream? I don't want you to tell me, but I want you to think about and consider your dream. I went through 8 pages quickly of money, of information that we need to take hold of. Is your dream in doing any of those things? Let somebody know about it sooner than later, so you too can access some of this money that's out there. Don't give up on your dream. I don't know how old Cheryl Lee Ralph is, but she's not a young buck. No, which means regardless of how old you are, sometimes we look at age. Oh, I'm 55, I'm 57, I'm 60, I'm 65, I'm 70, I'm 83. We think, oh, let me stop dreaming. No, you still dream. There's still an assignment that's on your life. There's still a purpose that you have to fulfill. There's a purpose you have to fulfill. All right, y'all. I hope this was beneficial for you today. Y'all, I'm gonna use this phrase: blood, sweat, and tears went into this. Many of you know I had dental surgery. I'm still working with 25 stitches over here, and every now and then my tongue will hit a stitch, and it like sends another signal because it's very close to my sinus cavity, so it's very tender over here. But I had that last Thursday. I thought, I can go get it and be out and about and having blast, and it's like, nope, you're not a young buck anymore. So when I say blood, sweat, and tears, the last two news and motion, Tuesday, Wednesday, and hopefully not today, when I was done sharing and talking this long, I had blood. And then, just the sweat of trying to get this, and it hurts and it's painful. And then I had tears crying over this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, cried over this. It's like, how do we access this? Why are they keeping this such a secret? Why did I have to go digging for this information? Not the report that came from the White House per se, but the report that I had to connect the dots on the computer. And I was calling up people. Can you verify this? Can you give me this? Can you share this with me? And I was getting information, y'all. That's the network. I was getting information back. And I would ask all of them. None of them look like me. How can Black and brown people truly access this bill that's designed for Black and brown people? Y'all, this bill is designed for us. And then I also asked this important question: where's voting rights in this? This is all well and good, but we're missing a piece, and that's voting rights. Without the right to vote, we cannot connect these dots. Y'all, November the 8th is probably the most important midterm election of our lifetime. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you all. You know what I say, stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.
Emotion.